High school graduation season is here, and many families will be hosting private parties to celebrate. But if you think it's okay to allow your teens to go ahead and toast the occasion, it is not. Personal injury attorney Paul Demore is here to talk about the risk and the dangers of supervised underage drinking. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Elsa.
Happy to have you here. I mean, I hate to rain on people's parades, but this is a bad idea. We all know people drink underage around this time, but tell us why that's a bad idea.
Well, teens drink underage a lot.
Yeah.
I have 2 teenage boys and a teenage girl, and my boys are driving, so this is a hot topic in my household. And it's graduation season, so parents are going to host parties, and as we all know, at some point during these parties, someone's going to say, I think it's okay to let the kids drink, as long as we're watching.
Right, and what is flawed with that logic?
Well, there's 3 things mainly that are flawed with that logic. First, it's illegal.
Right.
And we had a recent law passed in Maryland that makes it a punishable offense by going to prison if you're caught providing alcohol to minors.
Is that the Alex and Calvin's law?
That's Alex and Calvin's law, and that law arose from a very, very terrible tragedy that occurred back in 2015 when 2 young men lost their lives leaving a high school, an end-of-year party where alcohol was served, and a parent knew that the alcohol was being served and didn't do anything about it. And when Alex and Calvin's parents found out that the only punishment that this parent would face would be a $2,500 fine, they went to the legislature and said, we need more accountability, we need to have some change. And the law has now been changed so that if you serve alcohol to a minor as an adult, even if it's your own child and that child is hurt, leaving the party or in some other way, or leaves the party and causes bodily harm to another person, you can go to jail for an entire year and pay a $5,000 fine per incident.
It's serious, and I think this is a time where it's not kids will be kids or I'm right here. I mean, it extends even beyond jail time, the penalties, correct?
It does, because jail could be the least of your problems.
Wow.
If this happens and you have a child or an underage person leave your house under the influence of alcohol and they go out and they cause an accident and they kill someone or they injure someone seriously, you're going to be financially responsible for what happens to that person. And good luck trying to find insurance to cover it or the financial ability to cover it. I mean, these are the kinds of cases that I deal with, on a daily basis. And when people are seriously injured in these kind of wrecks, you're talking about millions and millions of dollars to take care of these people.
Right.
And so who among us is going to be able to shell out that kind of money because we let a kid have a beer and then thought nothing would happen and they... Oh, and what's more important, you can't turn a blind eye to it. It's no excuse now to say, well, I didn't really see the kids drinking.
Right. They were on your property under your supervision. You should have.
Right. Or I didn't give them the alcohol. They must have got it from somewhere else. Like, the bottom line is you've got to know what's going on in your own house. And you've got to suspect these kids are trying to get away. Look, we were all kids. Right. We all tried to get away with what we could get away with. They're no different than us. They're going to do what we tried to do. But we got to keep them safe.
Absolutely. So one of these things that I'm thinking of too is that, I mean, we touched on it earlier, but it's more than just underage drinking and it's against the law. This is actually harmful for teenagers.
Yeah, so there's new research coming out now. They're doing a lot of brain mapping, and it turns out that providing alcohol to the underdeveloped teenage brain, I've talked on this show before about a book called The Teenage Brain by a neuroscientist. I highly recommend anyone who has teenagers or has children coming to be teenagers read this book to understand that their brains are not finished developing. And if we introduce alcohol into that mix, their brains can become rewired to the point where alcohol then becomes a pleasure reward for the brain. And it's now hardwired to think that way. And so we put these children at risk of going on to become binge drinkers, to become people who can't be happy unless they drink. And so, I mean, it behooves us to set a good example for our kids and really not say, hey, look, it's okay. I mean, let's just wait till they're 21, give them some education, set a good example for them, and let them make their own decisions once they have all the information.
You can celebrate another way. Absolutely, especially for such a happy occasion.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here. For more information on the dangers of underage drinking, you can visit needjustice.com or call the offices of Demore Personal Injury Law at 1-800-JUSTICE. We'll be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.